Podcast, all things Nintendo. Yeah! Some emojis in the chat.
Hello, it is Friday.
Some emojis in the chat.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Some emojis in the chat. Some emojis in the chat. If you're happy, some emojis in the chat. Some emojis in the chat.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm feeling happy with Nintopics Podcast. I feel like dancing with Nintopics.
What is that, Paul?
I was vibing with my new jacket. That's
All right, welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. You are here. It is Friday. Can you believe it is Friday? Friday night, my friends, the best way to end your weekend, the most positive way to end your weekend. I mean, I know it's been a hard week for some people, but it's okay now. You're here. It's time to talk about Nintendo Switch news, more specifically Nintendo Switch 2. And talking about 2, we're only 2 weeks away from that Nintendo Direct. That is insane. That's crazy. But without further ado, we have to introduce the All-Star cast. We are looking a little bit different today. Guess what? That's not good. That's not bad. That's something even better. That's special because we have some special guests joining us today, starting with the one, the only Thunderstats Gaming. How you doing, Steve?
What's up? I am doing great. Happy it's Friday. Ready for the weekend. Ready to get some game time in over the weekend. But yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. And
Awesome.
there's actually a lot of stuff going on. So
There is. How's your hype level?
hype level. I try to temper it, because we still got days left, but it's probably a 9.5. I'm tempering it. Just a 0.5.
Yeah. 0.5. That's good. Moderate. And other side here, next door neighbor. Well, not my next door neighbor. To my corner over here, this side over here, we got another special guest in the house, Uncle Jeeb. Right, Jeeb.
That's correct. That's correct.
Not Geeb, it's Jeeb.
That's right.
How you doing, man?
Don't get it wrong. No, I'm kidding. I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So talk to me. How is your height level for Switch 2?
Beyond insanity. It is cannot wait. Super excited. I feel like I've been covering this thing.
Yeah.
5 years, maybe more.
For real.
Like it.
For real.
So I just can't wait. Only a few weeks away here.
Yeah, man. The hype has been going since it was called the Switch Pro, right? This was really the Switch Pro we were waiting for, and Nintendo Switch 2. So it's awesome to have you here, G. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
And moving upstairs, this side right there, this guy right there, Paul, the Gale Force Network. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing really well, thank you. It's been a fun week. As you said earlier, there are only 18 days until the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct.
That is insane.
Oh, it's exciting. Whenever you get to that new lower first digit number, you break the 30s, go into the 20s, now in the teens. It's always an exciting one because you're like, we started off at 76 days. That was 2.5 months. Not bad. But now it's like, dude, it's like less than 3 weeks. That's a good feeling.
That's insane. That is insane. 76 days, and now we just literally
tomorrow.
That's crazy, man.
It's a really awesome time. I've been playing a little bit of Breath of the Wild lately, just to bring myself back to 8 years ago. And it's been a long generation, but that game, it's held its own the whole 8 years. It doesn't feel any less awesome,
Yeah. That was the game that was rumored to be remastered or in 4K, and then we know a year or two ago they said, the game had no loading time whatsoever because of the Nintendo Switch 2 and its processor. So it's exciting to see what they do with that game, whether they do an updated version of the game or it's just the magic of the Nintendo Switch 2 software, operating that game. I'd rather the latter because that means that every other game on the Switch will be a lot better off on Switch 2 and not just Breath of the Wild, right? So Exciting. We're gonna go ahead into that today, and well, we gotta introduce the fifth cast of the podcast, the chat. How are you doing, chat? What's going on? You guys, hey, Joycey's in the chat. Let me go ahead and highlight Joycey here. The hype will not be contained every evening, folks. I'm out tonight, so y'all keep my nephew's company. All right, Joycey, we miss you. We love you. Hoping to have you back. I'm having you back, Joycey. Enjoy your time off. And so, yeah, we are here. The chat looks great. I see a lot of emojis. I'm hyped. Says Brady Tucker. We got Thunder. How are you in the chat? And you are also here. Magic, dude. We got Power Mad UK, also good. Long Island in the house. We got Long Island in the house. I'm from Florida. Where you from, Jeep?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Philadelphia in the house. Philly. Awesome.
Right.
And then we got Thunder. He's from the mountains, right?
Yep. Arizona.
That's from where Pokemon is from. So the new Pokemon is from Legends Arizona.
Yep. Read it backwards. Pokemon AZ.
Yeah, we just went AZ instead of the A.
I will clarify though. I'm actually in Illinois right now, where I live right now, but I am from Philly. That's my heart and soul. Go Birds!
Awesome. All right, and then we have the gifted from Boo Mini. Thank you so much, Boo Mini, for gifting that gift of one gift membership to the Odyssey team. Thank you so much. And then who are we congratulating? We have Steven Peterson is the newest member of the Odyssey. Thank you so much for that. And of course, enjoy the perks. We got perks, man. There's a lot of crazy videos and then skits and stuff over in the members area, so you guys can enjoy that. So take advantage of that. All right. Wait, we got something else here. And then we got a super chat from Nerdy Seb, $2. Thank you so much for that. Hello, not much, but hype is real. What do you mean not much? Switch 2 is a lot, and the hype is incredibly real. I agree with you, Nerdy. Thank you so much for that super chat. Yes, the hype is real. We are talking Nintendo Switch 2. We got new things to talk about. Some analysts are talking. I'm not sure if I agree too much with these analysts that pop in every now and then, but we can discuss it, right? We can have the conversation, and you guys know all the topic. The first topic is Nintendo Switch 2. All right, so let's start out with good news. There is an article that mentions that, well, there is apparently already 500,000 units on U.S. soil of Nintendo Switch 2. That is just, I mean, I get goosebumps. Like it's happening. It's like it's here. A new generation is upon us. We are about to witness the next generation of our favorite franchises. And it's only 2 weeks away, man. I'm just so excited. I want to go over to Deep first. What do you think about this? 500,000 units, boxed up, queued up, ready for you to buy one. What do you think?
I think Nintendo is ready to go, just like we are. If it's true, it's huge. I mean, that's one thing we feared is supply at the start here. Were they going to be able to supply the demand? And if that's true, that sounds like they're going to be able to, especially for launch there. So
that's insane, right? 500,000 units already. And the big number was 1.7 million units. 500,000 of those are in the US, and then the rest were distributed along the coast. And then Paul Gale mentioned something in a podcast a while back about them them continuing to issue more updates and by the week, and just continue to restock to a point where they just flood the market with the systems and give no way or line to scalpers, right? So I think part of the article mentioned that as well, that they're ready to supply. They're ready to supply to defeat scalpers, and 500,000 units already on the ground. What do you think, Paul? How you feel about that?
I'm feeling great with 500,000 on U.S. soil now. It's only going to be more. It's only going to ramp up more. I mean, even if it's not the correct number, let's say it's 385,000.
Yeah.
That's not enough, by the way. But this early, in probably being 2 months out, you could kind of calculate every couple of weeks, you're looking at another 125,000, 150,000, something like that. So you're ramping up for probably a few million at launch. I've been saying, I think they'll debut with 6.5 million on that first day / first week.
Yeah.
Worldwide. And if you're looking at 3 million for US, I think it's going to sell out fast, but half of their totals going to US, if it's roughly 3, that'll at least make a good ding, make a good blip in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're using MCU language there, dude. A blip,
a blip, a ding on the radar.
Yeah.
Good impact. I'm stoked. Stoked.
Yeah, man. What do you think, Paul? What do you think, Steve?
It's very exciting. I posted about this as well, and the thing I got to ask is, what about the other assembly plants?
Yeah.
What have they sent?
There's more than one.
There's more than one. There's, how many, Paul? Is it 5? 4 or 5?
I think there are 5, and we could probably talk too much into like potential tariffs and stuff like that. But the way Nintendo distributes, not all are in China, so very well could be some from Vietnam are the ones that are going to US very conveniently, and the Chinese ones are going towards Europe and Australia and stuff like that. So we'll have to see if we have to pay more here or not, but that's not a guarantee yet. So
yeah.
So I look at that, the fact that there's other plants. The other thing that gets me excited is that this is from a survey in January. Okay, it's March 14th.
That's crazy. Yeah.
How many more are actually here? Because I believe there's a lot more here.
Sure.
Between the fact that, like, if you just look at it from an odds standpoint, the fact that there's 5 plants, and like Paul said, I do think one of the plants will be shipped to the other territories, the China plant, to avoid tariffs. That makes total sense. And we know Nintendo made that shift years ago to prepare for tariffs. So yeah, totally makes sense there. But then you have the other plants as well. Have they shipped any over here? And then when you say January, it's like, well, when in January? Was it the first week? It was the first week. I mean, we're talking 9-10 weeks ago. How many more are here? But the other part that I get excited about is that with the big direct being on April 2nd, my hope, and I know your guys' is too, is that we have a very short reveal in our hands. Right?
Yeah.
And the way you do that is by stockpiling consoles in the US starting in January. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes total sense that they're already stockpiling them. So all around great news. I think it goes a little bit deeper than the headline. So this is good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you are completely right on that if we do get a shorter release window from presentation to release, Apple, right? Apple presents right now today. Pre-order starts next week, and then the following week it's already in your hands. And so with Nintendo, at least a month, right? A month and a week could be a good, right? A good window.
I think it's doable, guys, because like you said, Mike, it was the iPhone 16 came out September 9th. That was when they revealed it to the world. Open pre-orders. It's literally in your hands on the 20th. I think the biggest part about this is everyone's like, okay, wow, that's really fast. Well, guess what? I mean, there's more to it. They broke records, sales records for the company for the month of September and for that quarter. They absolutely annihilated the records. So this was actually wildly successful. And again, it just goes hand in hand with today's consumer, right? Everybody wants it now. They wanted it yesterday. The instant gratification consumer. That's the world we live in now. Yeah. So it would be wise to do that, right?
It would, because
what people want. We don't want to wait 6 months.
Yeah, you don't want to wait for the hype to go down, right? You want to take that momentum and just run with it.
Yeah, I almost feel like it all started when they announced when the direct would be.
Exactly. Yep.
So the hype actually almost started May 7th last year, which I only know that day off the top of my head because it's my birthday. But last year, that was when Furukawa said, hey, we're going to announce something by the end of the fiscal quarter.
Yeah.
And so we all were like, okay, so we're going to find out by 3/31/2025, right?
Yep.
So really, I feel like the normal announcement cycle, though, started when we got the reveal trailer and the date of April 2nd. So in reality, we've been waiting a while.
We have, yeah. You're right. So I like the fact that in this case around, I was saying in the video today, people have a short attention span nowadays, right? Technology moves so fast, and you know, I like the fact that for Apple, the short release window they have, they take advantage of the momentum. People who are ready to upgrade their system. We've been ready for 8 years. Everybody's ready for 8 years to upgrade, and so it's about time. And it's just for them to have that many systems in hand, they're ready for it, and I'm ready for it. Hopefully, we get. We'll hear more in 2 weeks, which is crazy. And guys, just to put this into perspective, this is I would say the next Friday is the last podcast in the Switch era.
Oof. Is it?
Next Friday.
Is it?
Because by then we will have our Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd. Then after that, Switch 2 era begins. Once we know. Once the system has been revealed. Let me go ahead and look at the calendar because now Paul's making me down myself.
I think there's two more, the 21st and the 28th.
Am I getting ahead of myself?
A little bit. The hype is a little bit too.
Love the enthusiasm.
Easy there.
All right, so not this one. This one and the next and the following one. But the one it'll be here in no time. Literally 2 weeks passes in nothing, right? So it's 2 weeks and a couple of days, not really 2 weeks. It's 14 days, and then 14 days plus 5 days. So we'll be there. And with that, we got some experts talking about prices, and I'm like, come on, dude. Cirkin Toto took to I'm not sure if it was an interview they had. I know I got my information from our partner IGN, by the way. Shout out IGN. IGN is Indie Mania partner, and so they I went to them, of course, to get this information. Cirkin Toto said in an interview that first thing he believes that Nintendo Switch 2 will break records. By the way, he said he believes that it will be the biggest launch in gaming history with Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know why he says that, but I believe him. I'm on board with that. But then he said, although the system could cost up to $500. I'm like, so G, what do you think about a $500 system for you?
Man, we've talked about this on my show a few times.
Huh?
I think if it's $500, I think that we're dealing with like tiers of systems, right? I think we're not it's not just one SKU. It's going to be a couple SKUs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a spec difference, probably not. More likely it's like accessories, like maybe one comes with a controller. Maybe one is without a dock entirely, and they're going to be like, this is your Switch 2, or I'm sorry, your Switch Lite, alternative. You don't want dock out, they won't pay for the dock right up front. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. If we're dealing with $500, it's going to be multiple. I don't think it's going to be one SKU for $500. That would be a little bit much to swallow at the start. And Nintendo has done this before. They've done a too high of a price to begin with. Look, I think it's the three. They dropped the price of 3DS pretty quickly. If I'm not mistaken. The Wii U was pretty high as well. So they've done this. They've made this mistake before, and I feel like they're not going to do it again. But they could do it because I would gladly pay $500 if it includes a few extra accessories because I'm probably going to buy them already anyway. So might as well give me like a slight discount to spend a little bit more than I was going to initially.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that I like the that they might present more than one SKU, and then one of them is $500 because maybe it does come with Mario Kart 9, maybe, or and the wheel, right, an accessory. So I can see that happening. Wait, what do you think, Steve?
Yeah, actually, that's exactly where I've been at. I've always thought that $400 is the magic price, right? $399. And if it went higher than that, it was going to be because it came with some other things.
Yeah.
Some accessories. And again, we could go back to some of the old rumors we heard about a Mario Kart bundle. Maybe it's that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe they are going to bundle one of the SD Express cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
If I recall, they did work with Samsung on developing the SD Express card. So it would make sense if one of them came with more storage, right?
Yeah.
The wheel, like you mentioned, Mike, I think that makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think there will be a $400 SKU. There might be one that's higher as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't see it being $500 outright.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I think it prices way too many families out, especially in this economy right now.
Exactly.
It's still recovering.
Yeah. What do you think, Paul?
Listening to how Furukawa talked about it in the past, in that affordability is something that their fans expect, and that is something important to them. Nothing really speaks affordable about the word $500.
Mm-hmm.
And that, part of it is relative. I mean, but that's kind of what this is. It's relative / compared to. If the other systems were $900, if PS5 came out for $900, Xbox Series X came out for $900, then I think, oh yeah, $500 is relatively cheap compared to that. But since they launched at $500 and Nintendo's mindset is to be affordable in comparison, $500 would be equal to $400. However, that's 80% of it. That is cheaper in comparison. That is just mathematically accurate. So I think this $500 is this, absolute peak price that maybe is included with a special Mario Kart thing and an SD card or something like that. Kind of like you guys are saying. But I think $400 is the price. Jeeb said, 3DS cost too much initially, had to be dropped. Wii U cost too much, but that's because the gamepad was a beefy part of that, and a lot of R&D went into that tech. So I'm not buying $500 as the cost. Now, if it is whatever, like I buy every Nintendo piece of hardware at launch, it doesn't make any difference to me, just because I live this stuff. But Nintendo has always tried to satisfy the masses, both in quality and in solid products, affordability. It's also not just a home console, it's a portable console. And in that regard, you could say, well, since it's two consoles in one, maybe it does have a justification of costing more because it's giving you more. But on the flip side, they would like multiple people per household to have this. And if you're buying it for yourself and your spouse or child or whatever, two $500 things isn't that attractive. Nobody's really buying home consoles more than one per household, but this thing will likely, as Nintendo Switch did. So I'm still on Team 400.
I look at this other part of it too, guys, in that, if it's 500, all four of us are gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably everybody in chat's gonna buy it, right? Even if it's 500. But it's really important that it is priced affordably for the long term for all of us as fans, because we need the Switch 2 to obviously penetrate the market as quickly as possible and build up that install base so the third parties continue to develop games for Switch 2. Don't just support it at launch when it's easy money because you're a launch title, but we need you to support it for the whole tenure of the Switch 2. And we all know if you price it too high, you won't be able to build up that install base.
You're right.
A prime example of it would have been E3 back when, what was it, Kaz over at PlayStation, $5.99.
Yeah.
Dude, it took a long time for the PS3 to recover and actually build up an install base. They didn't build it up until the end after the price had been dropped dramatically. I didn't pick up a PS3 till way later because of that. So I think that's just another reason, though, why we should feel pretty comfortable that there's going to be a $400 price tag and not a $500.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Demonic Brolic for the 5. Bring back NFL Blitz and NBA Jam. You got something to say about that, right, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, of course. Good old Demonic Brawler. This is the comment every show on in the 10 bytes. So yeah, 100%. Of course, I want that back. I have both the arcades in the house, and for anyone who doesn't know, I did participate in the NBA Jam tournament in 1994 at Blockbuster. I did win for Arizona. I represent. I was 9 years old. I won the 18 and under. They were pissed. It was awesome. And then
really good then.
Yeah, I was in the Retro World Series in 2022 and won the NBA Jam tournament.
That's awesome, man.
I love Jam. Yes, it's a lifelong thing.
You're a champ in the cast right now.
Yeah, I don't talk about it. It's in my about section on YouTube. Otherwise, I really don't say anything.
And another thing, doesn't Acclaim make NBA Jam?
Yeah, so Midway made it. Acclaim ported it. And so yeah, that's one thing that's really exciting about Acclaim being back now.
Yeah.
You know, they're a great place, great company. I'm happy to have them back, and they're going to be working with indie games.
Yes,
which is cool.
Yeah.
So we may be coming in contact with them.
Yeah, we're gonna reach out.
I think we'd be in the same circle, right?
We're gonna reach out. They have to be part of Indie Mania this year for sure. And thank you so much, Blog, for the 5. Appreciate your comment. Again, if you want to become part of the conversation, you can do so with any super chat of any amount. And if you have a question, you can go ahead and start asking them, and then we're gonna go ahead and highlight them for the end of the cast. We'll answer a couple questions at the end. All right, so I highly and completely agree with everyone. I like G with that $500 price has to be, there's something added to the system, right? It's not just system by itself. There's some kind of accessory, maybe a game. I love the fact that you're right about the Express SD card, Steve, because that makes a lot of sense. We're entering a new console that is expected to be, at least right now, very highly supported by third-party developers, right? Call of Duty is planning to come to Nintendo Switch 2 with that 10-year deal, right? And so maybe GTA 6, who knows? You know, I know Assassin's Creed. I'm supposed to say that, but it's coming to the Switch 2. It's on the way somewhere there. There's other games coming, and so with that having that in box can get you ready to download those games digitally day one. You know,
the Wii U,
yeah,
the deluxe bundle had more storage, right?
Yeah.
Was that, if I have the box still in my
32
my other room, but 32 gig, right?
32 versus 8.
Yep.
Okay, so that was literally the only difference, though, right? If I recall, it was just the storage.
Yeah.
That's
I think there's a precedence there that if we did have a higher price tag, it would probably include that SD Express card that they helped develop.
Yeah. Since go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and color. I think it's the only other difference. And then maybe I think they had a couple extra accessories in the box as well, like the stand, that little the stand thingy, and then color, the white and the black.
Yeah.
So maybe a white Switch too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. So the $500 price, it is possible, but yeah, we are all in agreement that it has to be some type of bundle. We do expect a system at $399 for the base models, so everybody can get it. Nintendo Switch is focused on selling multiple consoles per household. Right now, I have my own. My daughters have. They each have one. It's not I can get one for each, you know. And so, if my wife, I got her one at the end, she be careless about it. You know, she has it, and so that's Nintendo's goal, to sell multiple systems per household. It is a mobile system. It's not like your kids can play together in the car. They want to have their own and just kind of look at it and just have their own game libraries. Nintendo's big market is software. Look at the sales: 140 million units versus 1 billion software sold across. So, as long as Nintendo, sells multiple systems for a household, they have they're good, And I think that's their big goal, to have multiple systems per household and sell, make their money in software. Although they are going to make their profit with consoles. I'm right now, they are the only console who's actually making a profit with their console. PlayStation is losing money with their console, and also Xbox is losing money with their consoles as well. So the next thing regarding Nintendo Switch 2 is the FCC filing that was filed. It was found, and so it had a couple things that were found in this FCC filing. Steve, do you remember what they are?
Yeah, NFC for the Amiibo, which is great.
Yeah,
and I think that was kind of expected.
Yeah,
but it's good to see, because I think that lets all of us know that they're going to continue making new Amiibos, right?
Yeah.
And why wouldn't they? It prints money, literally. Exactly. It's easy money. Everyone likes them. I think the big one though was the Wi-Fi 6.
Wi-Fi 6, yeah.
Yeah, because we all know the Switch could benefit from some better Wi-Fi.
Exactly. Yep. Especially if let's say they do go NSO and they make it bigger. A way that they could add GameCube without having to carry too much storage is just host that online, stream games for GameCube online, and everything else just have it on the app. Go ahead, Paul.
I was trying to stay as long as I could, but you know why.
You're good. Yeah.
So, I don't mean to interrupt in a dramatic way.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead and plug your socials.
On X and on YouTube, I am at Paul Gale Network. I'm doing a countdown every day until the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. This chat is awesome tonight. There are 158 plus people in here, I think. We have a great crew. I hope you all have an awesome rest of the night. And, Santendo guy, can we get a Paul Gale amiibo? I like the sound of that. Thank you for that. Sorry I had to bounce early.
You got it, man. You got it.
I might still be in the chat here and there, though.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody. See you next week.
All right. So the NFC filings you were saying, Steve? The Wi-Fi 6, right? Wi-Fi 6 is a really big deal. With that, I think they also mentioned about the charger, right? The things that 20 watts, and then 30 watts, something like that.
Yeah, the controller grip with the battery.
Yeah. And
that was interesting.
Yeah, for those of you, we're talking about this right here. It's a controller grip with a battery in it. It's not expected to launch alongside it, but to be an accessory you can buy. But again, it's also falls in. It could be added as an accessory, and then could drive that price up to that 500. We got the game, we got the grip. Maybe there might be a pro bundle, right? That has the grip, it has a game, it has a little extra goodies for 500, and then we have the base model for for those who want to go into the entry level and just play Switch games while they stack up on games. So yeah.
I had not heard of that. That's a rumor right now. Is that there's a Joy-Con grip that has a battery in the Joy-Con grip?
Yeah, there's a Joy-Con grip that has a battery that you can plug in through USB-C. It already exists. It's already out there.
Oh! It's not built into the grip itself. It's just got a plug that you can plug in. The grip itself already exists out there with a battery and also a plug, so you can actually play it longer. But it looks like Nintendo is also releasing their own, and they found what is it? They found the codes or UPC people who find those little shipping code information stuff. Okay. I mean, I guess you need 80-hour play sessions. I feel like that's kind of unnecessary a little bit, because that means the Joy-Cons got really long battery life.
They do. So I'm guessing is that you can actually plug it in and continue playing without having to put it out there.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that was part of the FCC filing today, and that itself we were all expecting it. We were expecting something like that to happen. The Wi-Fi 6 is really good news for us Nintendo fans. The controller grip with the battery charging sold separately. I saw that in an article somewhere. I can't remember. Let's see here. And that's basically the recap. All we know so far about Nintendo Switch 2 until literally minutes before the podcast. This is not in the notes, but I'm going to go ahead and highlight it, and I want to get you guys' opinions on it because this is something to hype for. This is something to hype for. A content creator, insider, developer who has interviewed many not voice actors, but developers from big studios, retro studios, many studios. I'm pretty sure some of you have heard of him. Made a tweet today that kind of when I screenshotted it was growing. I'm pretty sure it's growing even more now. And I want to get your thoughts on this, guys, because this is a big thing. This is a big deal here. The claims. By the way, Nerdy Seb, $2, hoping for that Kid Icarus with the mouse control. And that's a shout out to the shirt, to Steve's shirt. Kid Icarus with mouse controls will be awesome. I mean, we got the mouse controls. Let's see what Nintendo does with them. And it'll be awesome to find out. We'll find out in about 2 weeks. But check this out. Thank you so much for that super chat. Look at this. What do you guys think about that statement? In less than a month, in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, you'll see that Nintendo and Retro were keeping their cards close to their chest with Metroid Prime 4 for this exact moment. The true unveiling will blow everything else in the Direct out of the water.
Yeah, so this is really exciting, obviously. I saw this post earlier, and Andres Restart, a friend of everyone's channel, pretty much. He had a video on it that was really good.
Well, his picture's down here, like he's lurking down below at the bottom,
right? The first thing I thought about was, okay, so this is going to blow away everything at the Direct. And Andres actually covered it in his video as well. We seem to always be on the same page, but it made me think, okay, so I'm curious what kind of presence 3D Mario might have at the show. Because I'm like, Metroid Prime 4 is going to blow away 3D Mario?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I mean, that'd be awesome. So my thought kind of as well was that 3D Mario would probably not be a full-on demonstration, more of a tease, which makes sense because I think we all probably expect 3D Mario to come out as the flagship holiday title for Mario's 40th anniversary. It makes sense. So that means it's going to be better than everything else, according to this tweet, which is like, okay. Yeah. I mean, sign me up. I think we all want that.
It could be the graphical highlight of the entire presentation. We didn't really see much. We just saw that trailer, and what we saw in the trailer was pretty common for a Metroid game. But we did see that the game looked so good, right? And so we haven't seen yet what Switch 2 can do with the same exact game. What do you think, G?
Hey, that gets me super excited to hear this, because again, like the Switch 2, we've been waiting a long time for Metroid information. We did finally get some, and when we finally got that trailer, what was that, last year? Or I can't remember. I'm confused with time at this point. But whenever they dropped the revealing more information on the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, it looked amazing. To my eye, it didn't look any more amazing than Metroid Prime 1 Remastered already was, and that's a compliment, not a not a negative. Of course, but there was some kind of murmur in our community, like, that's it? Like, is anything more? Especially because it was short. It kind of just looked like Metroid Prime 1. Some people in our chat couldn't even decipher. They're like, is it just Metroid Prime 2 remastered? But then they put out the Beyond logo to make to for no doubt. But yeah, it's been a topic of conversation for us. Like, Switch 2, is it just going to kind of be the same game? Is it going to be a Switch 1 game that's just a port to Switch 2 like the rest of the Switch 1 games? Or will they do something special with it? And this sounds like they're going to do something special with it. So how different will it be, like the Switch 2 version to the Switch 1? Probably not that different. That's what confuses me here. Like, because it can't be that different. They can't really sell two different games under the same name. So it's got to be the same game. Or does it? Or are they going to just blow everyone's mind and do Metroid Prime 5 announcement or something like that? Like, I don't know what they're going to do. This adds some mystery, which I like.
I'm wondering, guys, it's like, when I read that saying it's going to blow us away, my question is, in what way?
Right.
Are you going to reveal like some sort of new gameplay element that we haven't, thought of before, that we haven't discussed? Because I think when someone says it's going to blow you away, the mind probably, for most people, will automatically go to graphics, right? The graphics are going to blow you away. But is it something else? Is it a gameplay mechanic in the game? Is it a control mechanic, possibly with the Joy-Con mouse? Is it all of that put together? Is it, the entire package? Is it the graphics? It's, hey, we got new gameplay elements. Hey, this is like almost open world. It's open zone. It could go a lot of different directions, but I gotta imagine that if he's willing to put this tweet out there, that he was blown away by whatever he saw, and he felt confident enough that if he's blown away, that all of us are going to be too. Which, again, more reason to be excited, right?
I mean, insane. See here, so I'm still on the part where it says it will blow everything else in the direct out of the water. So, meaning this is going to be the highlight of it. I mean, they can go all Breath of the Wild with it, and in regards to like, it's going to be on Switch, but the Switch 2 one is the one you really want to get, because maybe you'll get the game. Yes, it's coming to Switch 2, Switch 1, but Switch 2 has the multiplayer in it or something like that, or maybe you'll get extra worlds here or something regarding Switch 2 that will get people hyped. I mean, there's always that speculation that Metroid Prime 4 is really truly a Switch 2 game that will also be kind of, given a Switch 1, version, and the Switch 2 is the one that people want to get. And that's what I'm getting from this one, that when they do reveal this Switch. By the way, Switch 1 game announced right now. It is a Nintendo Switch 1 game officially. When they revealed it back in June, and now with this tweet, I'm excited. I mean, I'm extremely hyped. It's crazy. Demonic Brawler, $5. Thank you so much for that super chat. I plan to pre-order Switch 2 regardless, so hopefully I'll get it on day one. But I wish they do show another color scheme. Not a big fan of Salmon Pink. Yeah, I hope they don't. When did we see Salmon Pink? Is it that Joy-Con part? The other part of the Joy-Con, the inner part? Is it Salmon Pink?
Yeah, it's we talked about this, like when the Joy-Cons first got shown.
Yeah.
I put up a picture of the iPhone 4 or 5, the one that had like the light blue color.
Yeah.
The salmon color. It's the same color. It's literally the same color. And that was called salmon.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay, so it is salmon. I thought it was like an orangey color. But it's more like a salmon.
Yeah. Hey, maybe it'll look different in person, though.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Let's see. We hopefully we get, like G was saying, maybe we get a white edition, which will be really, really cool. I don't know what colors of the inner, like the inners, the rails would be. But I mean, we're so close to finding out. We're so close to finding out. And then knowing that Metroid Prime 4, first thing, Metroid Prime 4, according to this, that's the first piece of news. Metroid Prime 4 will be a part of the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. That's what basically they're saying here. And the fact that they have been saving this game for this moment, meaning this might be the game that reveals the true power of what Switch 2 can do, and get developers excited, not just us fans, but third-party developers who will still on the fence, kind of waiting to see where this system lies, because we have a lot of developers out there who didn't get they didn't partake with the dev kit, and so they don't know yet until the system comes out, so that they can start kind of seeing if their game can work on that system. But this is exciting, man. Exciting.
Do you guys expect Metroid to be the game that helps demonstrate the tech from Nintendo? Obviously we had Mario 64, which of course was used to help demonstrate the controller, and how you can push up on the joystick just a little bit to make Mario tiptoe and everything. GameCube, we had Luigi's Mansion with the C-stick and the vacuum cleaner, and how great that was, and using the triggers. So I gotta imagine that this would be like the showpiece game to show developers how to take advantage of the Switch 2 mouse Joy-Con, right? Since it's a first person, you would think so.
Yeah, that's actually something I was wondering, is in this Metroid game, how is it going to kind of control? Because in Metroid Prime Remaster, obviously they took the old GameCube controls and adapt it for modern dual stick gaming, and that was great. It did still kind of feel like they just took a GameCube game and adapted it. As great as that game was, that was a little bit of a bummer. It was just like, it still does. It just kind of feels like you kind of cleaned it up, which is fine. So I was wondering, what are they going to do in Metroid Prime 4? Is it going to feel exactly the same as Prime Remastered? Or are they going to kind of do something crazy with it? And I don't know, if we're putting these puzzle pieces together, it sounds like this mouse feature could definitely have something to do with Metroid Prime 4 and how you control the game, and could be the example. This all makes sense to me. I mean, that's also very exciting too, because FPSs are usually better with a keyboard and mouse if you're comfortable with it. And this is almost like the best of both worlds. Like, you can have the joy, you can have a joystick in your left hand and not have to worry about keyboard stuff, and you can have a mouse in your other hand, and that sounds beautiful to me.
Well, here's my other question. Now that we're talking about it, guys, let me hear your thoughts on this. But if Metroid is the technological showpiece / demonstration game, it's got to be a launch title then, right? Because I know we all probably believe that Mario Kart is a launch title, but we've always wondered, hey, is Metroid gonna launch, or is it going to be a couple months after? What's the best time to capitalize for Metroid? Because we have to, as a Nintendo fan, as Nintendo as a company, they have to pull out all the stops to try and get Metroid Prime to be successful as far as sales are concerned.
It does make sense, because they revealed it in June. So by the time they announced it in April, May, June will be almost a year. So that kind of makes it could fall within a release window, right? It normally went from announcement to release. Games to take up to a year or less. So, yeah.
I would think it would be a launch title if you're trying to use this game to show off the tech, and for everyone to get it, for it to click for everybody. You almost have to have this at launch. Which, I mean, dude, Mario Kart and Metroid at launch, crazy. That'd be really nice.
I know Paul would say that if they launch these two titles at once, it would say then maybe Metroid Prime 4 is not a multiplayer game, because they have a multiplayer in Mario, and they launch two multiplayers at the same time, and they will, but and I would say, well, they're two different types of games, right? Mario Kart is for the entire family, for everybody, right? Metroid has this niche audience. We got the sci-fi audience, plus the first-person shooter audience, plus there's two different audiences that could benefit from these two, and maybe they want to target both at the same time, right? They want to say, hey, we got that Call of Duty type of game here with us, and it's gonna look like it and even better. So there's a possibility this could be a launch title alongside Mario Kart 9, right?
Yeah, I think you got to take advantage of the launch hype.
Yes.
To really catapult Metroid into that next stratosphere, because Metroid sales, we always know Metroid never sold well. Metroid Dread if I recall, that's the best-selling Metroid. But the Prime series has not sold well. Review scores, critically, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent game. But it just doesn't sell well. So you got to take advantage, I think, of the launch day.
Yeah.
Because on launch day, people are really excited to buy games. That's a great time to have it out.
Exactly.
And then again, Mike, we've talked about it before about having Metroid on both Switch and Switch 2. You got to take advantage of that massive Switch 1 install base in order to, once again, get Metroid to, try and close the gap a little bit with Mario and Zelda. Now, is that ever going to happen? No, but at least get it closer. At least break 10 million, right?
I mean, yeah, I think with Metroid, because you're right. Metroid is a very niche game, right? For a very niche audience. And so, but then again, this niche audience is super passionate about the franchise, right?
Yes.
Super passionate. And so, I think that Metroid, without changing what makes Metroid, needs to have a Breath of the Wild moment, right? Needs to kind of just do something that will just blow people's minds away, and just I think this is where he's going with this, right? We'll blow everything out, blow everything in the direct out of the water. Maybe there's something that they haven't showed us yet that would bring Metroid from being this 8 million seller, which is, by the way, Metroid Prime Dread is the highest seller right now.
Yeah.
And it's a 2D such cool thing. It's not even the Prime series.
It's not the flagship series.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm excited for Metroid, I mean, I'm looking forward to Mario. I'm looking forward to Mario Kart, right? I'm looking forward to let's see what Animal Crossing looks like this time around, right? Let's see what the next Splatoon, right? The first year of Nintendo Switch 2, I'm looking forward to those first 12 months, because we're gonna get that next generation. And so, even if your game is not a launch title, hey, within the first year, there might be a launch title there. So that brings us to our next topic. Well, it's not a topic, it's more like a add-on to this particular thing. Launch titles. If you had to pick 5 launch titles for Nintendo Switch, it could be third party and first party. Starting with G, what would they be? And then why? Why do you think this would be a good launch title?
Well, I've been saying it for a while, and just because we were just talking about it,
yeah,
I think Metroid is a perfect launch title for the Switch 2, because we're all Switch fans. All Switch fans are already excited for the Switch 2. It's not like any one game is going to sell the system to anybody. At least not going to hurt sales. A game could certainly sell systems, but there's not a real launch game, unless Nintendo makes a really bad choice, which I don't know what that is, but just we're talking theoretically here. There's not a real game they can put out launch day that's going to hurt them, unless it's 1-2 Switch 3 or whatever. That could hurt. But I think Metroid, they've been priming this, pun intended. They've been priming Metroid for a while now to be this launch game by delaying its release, by announcing and releasing and shadow dropping Prime Remastered, and how amazing it was, what a great job Retro Studios did with that. They've been really kind of getting us ready for this moment that potentially could be happening here to blow our minds away. So Metroid Prime 4 as a launch game is really obvious. It's not, well, I shouldn't say it's obvious, but it's a really good choice for Nintendo, especially if this game is as great as we think it's going to be. I think obviously Mario Kart 9 or whatever it's going to be called. I'm still not sold that it's 9, because if you look at the industry, tech or gaming, 9 is skipped for whatever reason.
Yeah, you're right.
Bad luck. It's bad luck in Japan.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, I've never been sold. I've been saying it because that's what everyone's been saying, entitling it that way. But I'm not sold as 9. I'm not totally convinced that's not going to be Mario Kart Ultimate, and we just kind of, that's the new branding. It goes along with Smash Ultimate.
Yeah,
I'm not. You can convince me of that. I'm on board with that. But Mario Kart as a launch game is going to be a really good one. Also, just I'm going to throw this theory out there. I'm not sure if anybody really is thinking of it this way. I think this is a good opportunity as well for Nintendo to make Mario Kart a live service game, not necessarily a free to play, but at least a live service game, because that's kind of what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe became at the end, is live service through Nintendo Online, and just by little drops here and there of new updates and courses and skins and stuff like that. Mario Kart 9 could be a really great live service entry, with like Nintendo's first live service game, at least that I know of, especially mainline, and definitely a first for Mario Kart. That would be really cool, because then you could bundle it with systems it comes with your system, and you subscribe. I'm not sure how they would handle live service, whether that be a free to play with subscriptions, or include Nintendo Switch Online, or just $60 and then you pay more. I'm not sure how they would do it. That's probably a different conversation altogether. But live service Mario Kart could be huge for the series, and great for the launch as well, because then you got something new and fresh every few weeks, potentially every few months. With Mario Kart 9, if there's delays with other games, you can just kind of keep updating that for a little bit until the next game comes out, holds people over. That's two. Man, I mean, can we define launch? Like, are we talking about with first year, or like literally day one?
Yeah, well, launch will be what games you want to see on day one of the system. Okay. So it could be first and second and third party.
Right. Okay. Third party, I want to see I want to see Sony and Microsoft's first parties. That's really what I want to see. Give me Astrobot. I fell in love with that game last year.
Yeah. Who knows? A lot of
people did. It's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. But if you ask me, it doesn't have to be exactly within realm of possibility, does it? So I would love to see. But there are some that could definitely come. We already know Microsoft is and all of their companies they've purchased under their Microsoft name, that we already know that a lot of those games have already come and are coming in the future. So I mean, I don't know. I can give me Halo. Give me Halo. I want a Halo trilogy, not a trilogy, but like a Halo medley. Give me all the old Halo games. That would be incredible to see on launch day. Again, multiplayer game. I'm not afraid I don't think Nintendo should be afraid to put out multiple multiplayer games. Launch day, because it sounds like, what's that C button? Communication, chat, whatever people it's all kind of leading to different theories that it could be relating to, playing with people. So like multiple multiplayer games would fit right in line with that. So give me Halo, all of them. Give me all the Halos. That'd be incredible, like on portable system like that. Let's switch off Thunderstaff. Why don't you give us a few here? Let me think.
Yeah. So let me see here. I have a little list, and Mike, can I give you a few more games?
Yeah, of course.
Throw them out there, a little rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay. These are games I expect to be there. Good chance at launch, definitely launch window. But obviously Mario Kart. So we've talked about this a lot, and kind of what you said, Uncle Geeb, about Mario Kart with it being live service. I think it can be live service without like using kind of the name, so to speak, that goes along with it. So they'll basically be doing exactly what they just did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I do believe that the reason why we're going to get Mario Kart at launch is because it's going to be an evergreen title.
Yeah.
Which in turn is going to make it live service, because for it to be evergreen, they will continually update it. They will add DLC. But what I think is going to happen with Mario Kart is Mario Kart's going to be the driver, so to speak, to promote other Nintendo IP. For example, say a new game is coming out that's a Nintendo published title. Great time to drop some DLC and have a new cup based on that game. That way, you have an evergreen title. You look at Mario Kart's got almost 70 million. If you look at what the Wii U sales to, 70 million households, right? If they're playing Mario Kart all the time, and then suddenly new DLC drops for what is a new Xenoblade Cup, and they're like, who are these characters? Where's this location from? What is this game? I want to play this game. I want to check this out. Like, it's the perfect model because you're basically doing in-game advertising without it feeling like slimy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's perfect thing for Nintendo to do with Mario Kart to keep it evergreen. Metroid, here's the thing. Will it be a launch title? Will it not? I think it all depends again on the tech demo aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I look at some of the other games that I think could come to the Switch 2 as a first person, and I see Metroid. Obviously, Call of Duty is an option.
Yeah.
Are they gonna give it to us at launch, or are we gonna get it in November when we get the annual Call of Duty? Then you got to look at Doom. That's another first person. It's also from Microsoft. They're gonna want to spread out their releases. On top of that, I 110% expect Halo: The Master Chief Collection to come to Switch 2, which is your Halo medley.
There you go.
And I also expect Indiana Jones to come to Switch 2.
For real.
100%. 100. I played it on my Series S. It runs phenomenally. And they have DLC coming out in the spring. Yes, it makes sense. They need to recoup the cost from using the Disney Indiana Jones IP. It's extremely expensive, even for Microsoft. And as you know, people weren't running out to buy Indiana Jones physically.
Yeah.
The people who are playing it are Game Pass subscribers. And even the Game Pass subscribers weren't playing it, which is insane because it's an amazing game. That's a game I will double dip on. But just right there, guys, that's a lot of first person stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's coming from Doom, Indiana Jones, and Halo Master Chief Collection. All from Microsoft.
That's crazy.
Different developers, but all Microsoft owned.
Yeah.
They're going to have to figure out how to strategically release all of those, I think, because you obviously don't want to do this too close together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know that all these developers want to be there because Final Fantasy VII Remake, I expect to see it. I would be surprised if it was not a launch title because I think they want to get Remake out the door.
Yeah.
Let it cook for a while, and then we'll get Rebirth. And I do think Rebirth is coming. It's Steam Deck verified. There's no reason it's not coming to Switch 2.
Yeah, for real.
Elden Ring. I really do expect that to be a launch title, complete edition. Like 100%. Why wouldn't it be? Easy money. It runs on... It's a PS4 game. Clearly, it's going to run great on Switch 2. You got Red Dead Redemption 2. I do expect to see that. Truthfully. Resident Evil 4 Remake. That should be there. What about Oblivion, guys? It just got announced. Is that coming?
For real.
I'm saying 2 games, though. I think one of them will be there at launch. Indie titles.
Okay.
Either Hades 2 or Silk Song. And I really do believe there's a reason why it's been so long and they've been so quiet with Hollow Knight. I really do. I think they've been patiently waiting for the Switch 2 launch. That would be the best indie game. Everybody would pick it up. You'd recoup cost almost instantly, having it be the flagship indie launch title, right?
That makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah, Hades 2 went into early access last year. I expect it to release sometime this year. Once again, that's how you do it. Easy money if you're there at launch.
Yeah.
This is why the same companies are always there at launch. Ubisoft is always there. It doesn't matter what console generation, they're always there. And they'll release a couple of good games and they'll release a couple of games that nobody cares about. But people end up buying them because they're launch titles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying it's just easy money. I also wonder about Breath of the Wild 4K. I really do. But like Mike, you mentioned earlier in the show.
Yeah.
About hoping that this isn't like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Meaning like you hope this is that if Breath of the Wild is in 4K at 60 FPS, that this is part of a bigger picture in terms of Switch One's backwards compatibility and how it improves games with the DLSS.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a system thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know I've used DLSS and I see what it can do.
Yeah.
I think it would have no problem whatsoever, especially if they're using DLSS 3 and up, which I'm under the impression that it'd be 3.5 or 4.
Wow.
So
yeah, be crazy.
Yeah, there's so many games. AC Shadows, you know they're going to need to make money.
Yeah.
Ubisoft needs to make money now. They need to make money yesterday.
Real.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of companies are banking on Nintendo to recoup costs. So
Yeah.
it's hard to say. It's like, dude, this could be the craziest launch ever.
It could be.
And it should be.
Yeah. And man,
because this should have came out last year.
Thinking about it,
and I know it. This was internally delayed.
Yep.
The Switch 2?
Yeah. They won't admit to it.
Yeah.
But I believe it was.
They're probably waiting on a bigger number of developers that say, hey, we have our game. We want to have our game ready for Switch 2. We want to be there at launch. We don't want to be there at the end or towards the middle. We want to be there at launch. And I'm pretty sure, hey, okay, that's fine. We can delay it. It's all good.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think it was a problem. Like, I don't think there was any trouble.
Yeah.
I think it made the most sense to do that in order to have a massive launch.
Exactly.
And I think they got commitments from a lot of devs that said, hey, if you can do it in this window, we can be there at launch. And it's like, okay. I mean, if you're going to be there at launch, we can guarantee success on multiple levels. So why not?
That's insane, man. Shout out to Demonic Brawler again with the 2. Please make all Switch One cloud games native. Yeah, for real. Bring them natively to Nintendo Switch 2. I don't even know why even Kingdom Hearts is cloud on Nintendo Switch when that game was on PS1, PlayStation 1, and PlayStation 2. You know, Kingdom Hearts can run on Nintendo Switch. I don't know why they went with the cloud version on that. I know there's another one. What is it? Control was another cloud version one. Can't think of it. I know there were others out there.
The Kingdom Hearts trilogy, which I expect to see come out on Switch 2 physically.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I think Kingdom Hearts could have been ported, onto Switch. Switch could handle that. Yeah, and I just think it was an internal thing just to kind of just port the game out really quickly because the cloud is in their own servers, and so they just have to give you an app so you can access the servers, and that's it. So just like kind of Stadia was. But I agree. I hope there are no cloud games on Nintendo Switch 2, except for maybe GameCube on NSO, right? And if they're gonna bring any other bigger consoles to NSO, maybe also make them cloud version as well. I like your picks. Do you Gabe, do you have 2 more?
Yeah, I do. Although Thunderstash stole my thunder. Elden Ring is a good one. It's obvious, of course. It's absolutely coming. Day one for sure. Physically, it's going to make a lot of money. It's going to make a lot of customers happy. More importantly, it's going to be great. Yep. And this is like a kind of maybe not a launch, but it's eventually GameCube. Is coming. We know it's coming. It could be a launch title. It's just like, hey, because I'm kind of speculating a price increase for NSO.
For sure,
whether that's Switch 2 alone, like if you want an NSO subscription for Switch 2 specifically, that could just cost more, or they're just across the board, everyone's getting a price increase. I don't know. But GameCube, I'm suspecting soon. We're due for a new console, so at some point in the first year for sure on that. And my last one, Monster Hunter Wilds is it's got to be on the Switch 2 for sure. I don't know about launch. I think it might be. If I was betting, I would be betting that it would be there day one. It's got both the best of both worlds. It's got a great single player story experience. It also has multiplayer aspects to it. It cannot run on the Switch. If it tried, it would burn it your Switch down. But Switch 2 for sure should be able to handle it. Hopefully, they're optimizing that right now. Capcom is really working on that port because it's struggling everywhere else right now. Hopefully
that's my concern.
Yeah. But so when it comes to Switch 2, I really hope it's all that has been ironed out already. So, because that would be kind of tough if it didn't play well. I could guess it's going to be locked at 30. But I don't know.
For sure. I would expect it. I played both of the Monster Hunter Wild betas, and I'm like, I can't, dude. This is chugging. It was chugging on PS5. It felt clunky, and trust me, I want to get into it.
Yeah,
I'm seeing a lot of people enjoying it, so I want to get into it.
I recommend
it. And I'm not firm on it. Like I will probably get into it, but it's one of those games that if I do get into it, then where does my productivity go? Honestly, like I got to review other games.
You're right.
I can't be playing that. It's like playing a live service game almost.
Yeah,
almost, because this is a game you can play for hundreds of hours, right?
Yeah.
I do wonder if they have their own Monster Hunter being worked on for Switch 2.
They probably have to do. They have to.
Like with Rise.
Yeah. I mean, seeing their relationship with Nintendo, they gave Monster Hunter Rise an exclusive window for Nintendo Switch, right? Why not? Yeah. Why not have Monster Hunter Wilds a version for Nintendo Switch 2? I do have it on PS5. Got it recently last week. I am playing it. I think it's doing pretty well for me on PS5. Did you say were there people reporting any issues with the game?
I mean, I've just heard exactly what Uncle Gabe just said. As far as it seems like it's still running similar to how it was in the beta.
Really?
I'll say, I played the beta on PC. Had no problems, but that's because probably due to my hardware more than anything and luck. I did play a little bit of the beta on PS5, but not enough to really judge it. I mostly played the betas on the PC. But now when on release, I bought it on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually stunned how good it's been running, because I heard people's experiences. That's just not been my experience. And the people I've been playing with as well, have just on PS5 particularly, have been reporting that it's been great. Whether you choose frame rate mode, which has been locked at 60 and wonderful, or if it balanced has been kind of the mode of choice, because you get that it kind of is at 60 a lot of the time in balance, but there are certain times where it definitely drops down to 40, definitely 30 on rare occasion. But I personally have not had any crashes or anything like that on PS5. Some glitches, some weird lighting glitches. Just last night I found my first lighting glitch, which was weird after like 30 hours of gameplay. But I do know that's PS5. PC is having lots of issues, and that's definitely just due to optimization, because everyone's hardware is different.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's not going to be a problem with Switch 2, because it's the same hardware for everybody, so they should have an easier time optimizing it as long as they put the time into it.
I really did like the customization options they gave you at the beginning of the game when like you said, they give you the option to whether you want performance, you want graphics, you want and so I selected performance. Graphics, to me, they look like the game looks good. It looks good, and so I selected performance, and it plays pretty well. I mean, I haven't been too far into it. I'm still in the main camp after rescuing a child, so I'm not that far off. But it's so far so good for me. And I do believe with Nintendo's relationship with Ubisoft that I don't doubt they have that game ready. Like when they were working on Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't doubt they've been working on a Switch 2. They've had a dev kit, and they've been working on that Switch 2 one, and they have it ready. So when Switch 2 comes out, that game is launched, or maybe we might even see it in the Direct. Which, by the way, which of these games, other than Final Fantasy, because I think that's a little bit too obvious, we might see that we probably will see that in the Direct as a third-party support, since Microsoft has been outspoken about bringing Final Fantasy to others on a broader range of systems rather than PS5. What of these games do you think has the best chance of making it to this Nintendo Direct?
I think Wilds. I do think if it's there at launch, it's there at the Direct whenever they announce those things. I definitely think, because it's taken over my life. It's been taking over a lot of people's lives. I got 3 different friend groups I'm playing with separately at different times. Like that's a first for me. Most it's been 2, but like, man, it's just, and it's been really well received outside of these issues, depending on the platform you're on. Still people should having fun with it. Like they're putting up the crashes and just restarting in the game. So I think Wilds is definitely one we see, and I'll throw in Elden Ring too. But I think it's obvious.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. What do you think? What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, Elden Ring, like you said, for sure.
Mhm.
I do think we're going to see something from Microsoft. It's just a matter of what they want to show.
Yeah.
I would presume that there's a strategy behind all of this. And Nintendo and Microsoft, I would presume, have been in conversation about what their launch titles are going to be so they can strategically place their games there to go well alongside them, right? Again, we don't want 4 or 5 games at launch that are first person. So yeah, I would expect something from this. Just a matter of what. I would expect, like you said, Monster Hunter with Capcom. If Monster Hunter Wilds is coming to Switch 2, I would expect it to be there.
Yeah.
If it's not, I still expect stuff from Capcom. I think it would be crazy if they didn't bring over Street Fighter, because Street Fighter is always on Nintendo. What was it? Ultra Street Fighter 2 Turbo for Switch launch title. Sold gangbusters. Had no business to. Old game, man. So yeah, I think Capcom's going to be there 100%. So Capcom from Software, I think the developers that were in the shareholder meeting, PowerPoint, all those developers listed. I would not be surprised if there is a game from each of those developers in the Direct.
Seriously. Yeah, there's a reason why Nintendo highlighted them, right? They didn't have to. They
did not have to at all. Yeah.
Yeah. They want to make sure, like, for example, okay, Nintendo has a job to do. Okay. First thing they have to convince us, why do we need a Nintendo Switch 2 when we have Switch 1? So what makes this system different? So they have to convince us there, right? Then they have to provide the next titles for Nintendo Switch, and of course show third-party support. See how strong the third-party support is for the system to bring in new fans. I know that a lot of people who, for example, Final Fantasy has been spoken about a lot for Nintendo Switch 2. That's why I was like, that's kind of that could be obvious. They could just show that right there, for Switch 2. If they show that game for Switch 2, many Nintendo Switch fans who don't have a PlayStation, didn't even look at PlayStation 5. It breathes new life into the Final Fantasy franchise with this huge 140 million Nintendo online user base, right? And so it makes perfect sense that Nintendo wants to make sure that they show strong third-party support during this Nintendo Direct. My top 5 for the we're gonna see. I hope we see. Well, launch titles are different from first year titles. I gotta correct myself that one too, because I'm like, okay, I'm going ahead of time. I'll say Mario Kart. I'm gonna go with Metroid also. I'll say Final Fantasy, also day one. Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm cheating now because you guys already written it. And then I'm gonna say, believe it or not, I'm gonna go with the Cozy World, and I'll say Animal Crossing New Horizon. Why? Because it was the number 2 selling game on Switch. That game is a system seller, so people have been waiting for that one for a long time. Mario Kart and that one are the top 2 most sold games on Nintendo Switch. I know that people say, hey, 2020 was responsible for that, but you have to understand how much that game means now to those people who bought it during 2020. That game is now a lifetime game for them. It's like, whenever that game comes out, it took me out of here, put me in here. From now on, I'm devoted, I'm faithful to this game. just like we are, right? We all have that special game that got us into gaming to begin with, right? And we're gonna buy it no matter what. For me, it was Mario, right? And so Animal Crossing is that game for a lot of people during one of the most difficult times in history, right? So those are my top 5 when it comes to, were they 5? I said 5, right? 5? Those are 5, I think. 5?
Who's counting?
Right?
Yeah, you get 5.
Yeah, I think you get 5. I can do a bonus one. I would say I don't know. I don't know what is one.
What indie game you think we're gonna get? Because there's gonna be some sort of indie offering.
Hollow Knight is on the table, but Team Cherry's been so quiet. I think they made a mistake of announcing that game way too early, right? And people are very, very they lose their patience.
Well, I expect Ruffy to be there.
Oh, for sure. He already announced it. He already
Riverside.
Said it. Yeah.
And there's another indie game that I think we've talked about. I can't remember it now. Oh, Yuka Replay. I expect to see that there as well.
Yeah.
I think we might have some good indie titles to pick from.
He was the first one to do that little hint with googly eyes on top of the Nintendo logo.
Yep.
When they released that trailer. Yeah. So it's obvious that that Nintendo Switch 2 is extremely anticipated. It's I sometimes get overly excited because this doesn't happen very often. 2017 was a long time ago. And who knows when it will be the next one, right? Because if Nintendo Switch lasted 8 years, what if it's 10 years from now we see that next system with now AI upscaling in the mix, right? This is not just hardware we're talking about. We're talking about AI, and so Nintendo can do so much with that. But yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 is around the corner. Looking forward to it. I think it's a good time to enter our next quick topic before we head into the Q&A. We're going to talk about Nintendo Switch, all right? Because sadly, guys, a generation is ending, right? It's bittersweet because we've been in it for a while. We wanted to leave it for a while.
Exactly.
It's a bittersweet. But man, we're thankful for Nintendo Switch. And Nintendo has said that they are not done with releasing games on Nintendo Switch. So, what can they release now, right? What games are out there? So that's the question I want to talk to you guys. What games do you think are still around there? And this is not third party. There's buku load of games third party that are still on the way for a Switch. And I'm pretty sure that they will be released on Switch and Switch 2 for a while. But first party games, what do you guys think Nintendo still has in store for our Switch fans?
I think a lot, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they abandoned the massive install base. It's just, it would be, in a sense, it would be fiscally irresponsible to abandon the install base when you still have all of those active users that they talked about at the last shareholder meeting. What was it? A little over 130 million active users.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, again, that's absolutely insane. Those people are turning on their Switch and using it. So the thing is, though, is that they still have a lot of games. And I know we've had a lot of, it feels like a lot of GameCube ports, but 100% Prime 2 and 3 are coming.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just a matter of when. You can't give the current Switch generation who never had a GameCube and never had a Wii, you can't give them Metroid Prime remastered and then be like, here, now play part 4. There's no way, dude.
Right.
Yeah, you have to get those out. Galaxy 2 HD. 100%. There's a reason it was left off of 3D All-Stars. I personally think that would be the perfect title to celebrate Mario's 40th anniversary with Switch 1 owners. Be like, hey, if you haven't moved over to the Switch 2 yet, where the new flagship 3D Mario is, don't worry, we got you. We got Super Mario Galaxy 2 HD. And I do wonder if they're going to add anything to it, a la Bowser's Fury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
There was a reason it was left off, and I really do believe it was for the 40th.
Yeah.
Those are some games. Obviously, we got Wind Waker and Twilight, right? We got possibly Kid Icarus from 3DS, even though I think that would be perfect for Switch 2, right, guys?
It will be awesome for Switch 2, right?
The
That'd
mouse.
be a good comeback. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are first party, and we still need Link Between Worlds HD.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, and maybe that's next year for Zelda's 40th. Maybe
Right.
Switch 1 owners get that.
I'm
And then
playing.
Switch 2 owners are going to buy it, obviously.
Yeah. And then how about you? Do you think Nintendo has anything in store for Switch 1?
Yeah, I mean, I think Thunderstats brought up a lot of good
Yeah.
remasters, or HD versions, ports. I think we're definitely going to be seeing more of those. They're not going to cut it off cold turkey. There's no way
For real.
they're just going to cut this thing off. It's been such a cash cow up until now. It's still a
Right.
cash cow. It has finally declined over the past year or two in terms of overall numbers, but
Huh?
still, I mean, man, it's still killing. So it would be irresponsible, like you said, to just cut it off there. And Nintendo's not going to do that. They like their money just like everybody else does, and they're going to keep making money with this thing. Whatever comes to Switch original, of course, I think is no doubt also going to be coming to Switch 2. It's not like it's going to be a Switch 2 version. It's just obviously, you could buy the Switch 1 version. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could talk myself into maybe they could do like a Galaxy 2 HD Switch 1 and Switch 2 version, and there's different content. I don't know, but I mean, it's not whatever. The point is that whatever comes to Switch 1 is not exclusively Switch 1. There's nothing exclusive anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there could be exclusivity things going with Switch 2 that could affect Switch 1. I think some first party games will definitely come to Switch 1.
Mhm.
For how long and how many of them, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think the first year is a good bet. Like the first year of Switch 1, the first year of Switch 2 games, first party, I think pretty much is a lock for Switch 1. After that, I have no idea. They could because the games are going to start to get really, let's just say complicated for the Switch 1. It's not a secret it's underpowered. So Nintendo, if they're getting ambitious with it, I don't think they would want to strip down a game just to get it on the Switch 1.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think that's the way they work. So I think that there could be a point where first party new stuff stops coming, but who knows how long they just keep dripping, all these remasters and HDs and port versions of games here. So, I mean, yeah.
I agree. I think I agree 100%. I don't think Nintendo Switch will stop getting games, like you said, cold turkey, because the install base is massive, and Nintendo needs to take advantage of it. First thing, because of their shareholders, they don't want to see no dips along the way. They want to make sure that there's a constant, feed. But then again, they also want to kind of, I'm pretty sure they have a good strategy to hook people up, to get that Switch 2. Besides having all those units ready on launch, right? Aren't they projecting like 8 million in like 2 years? Something like
8
that.
million what?
8 million units sold of Switch. Yeah,
Oh, for Switch 1?
or Switch 2.
They're predicting 20 million in the first year, and then they're predicting 6 to 8 million at launch.
That is insane.
Which will break
Nintendo
Yeah.
predicting this, or this is somebody else?
Bloomberg, I believe.
Bloomberg? Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think there's some other, analysts, but yeah, it'll crush any console sales record. Obviously, it just absolutely
Yeah.
annihilate it.
Yeah.
If it does even half of that.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I agree.
You think we get Eternal Darkness HD? You think that's a possibility since Nintendo obviously owns the IP?
I'm going to will it. I'm going to will it into existence because they need to. They
Well,
need,
if you will wave race for me, will you?
okay, wave race, man. Yeah, that's for sure. We need that. We need that. Hopefully, if not, we'll get a brand new wave race. Make it VR.
Oh God, yeah, be so good.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree 100%. I think we still also maybe get Wind Waker into Nintendo Switch. I think Twilight Princess has a potential being remake. You know, like they did with Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 1, just because that game has more potential of showing its better colors on Switch 2, right?
100%.
Yeah. And you know, Zelda games. I agree with Mario Galaxy 2. I do hope they do Bowser's Fury 2 attached to that one because Bowser's Fury is my favorite 3D Mario game. Although it's a small game, right? I would say I see it as small as, although Mario 64 is not a small game, right? At the time, it wasn't a small game. It has 120 stars, right, to finish up the game. Mario Bowser's Fury has 100 cat shines, right? But the cool thing about Bowser's Fury is that it's kind of open world. You eventually have an open world because you unlock areas. When you unlock areas, you can go anywhere you want to go. And then when you get a cat shine, you just keep on playing. It'll do a celebration that he does, and then you just keep on playing. It's like you don't leave a world and you jump into another one, and this.
Right.
You know, I like that continuity of just continue playing. Okay, I gotta catch up. Let's keep playing. Let's keep playing, and that's something that Riverside did. Ruffy in the Riverside.
Yeah.
In the first demo that I played of that game, he had you go back out every time you got a star. By the way, Ruffy in the Riverside is a new game. Have you heard about it, Jeep?
No.
It's look it up. It's the demo is on Steam right now. It's amazing. It's a combination of Super Mario, Banjo, and what else? Another game. But it's a really cool game. Really good platformer.
Cool.
And so in that game, he used to have you get a star and then go back out into the little area, and then you have to go back in and get another star. Now you can continue. Now you can continue on your way there until you get all the stars there. So highly recommended Ruffy the Riverside. That game was debuted in Indie Mania last year and on IGN. So it was a good surprise there.
Awesome game.
Yeah, it
Very
was
unique art style.
Exactly. Yeah.
And unique gameplay elements for sure.
Thank you for saying our star, because that was the third thing I wanted to mention. Paper Mario. Paper Mario, Banjo, and Super Mario. Put into what?
Yeah, Paper Mario graphically, right?
Yeah.
I just Googled it. That's the first thing I thought was, wow, that's Paper Mario looking like.
Yeah. So what was the question? I lost my train of thought. I'm getting old, dude. I'm getting old. Happening.
Well, it was just about the Switch 1 games that we can still see. I did have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
About the Switch 1 games, real quick. Do you think that we get new games on Switch 1?
It's interesting, right?
Or is it just going to be first-party remasters? And if you want new games, they're going to be on Switch 2. But we're still going to give you games that may be new to you. But like we're not gonna get like a brand new 2D Zelda.
Like, you mean like Switch games that are Switch 2 brand new? Are we getting them on Switch 1? Is that what you're asking?
No, like brand new released games for Nintendo Switch.
Only, and not a Switch 2 release.
I mean, it's backwards compatible.
Yeah,
but yeah, like the question is, does Switch 2 have any new games still unreleased for Switch 1? Before Switch 2 comes out, right?
I think anything that comes out
after Switch 2 comes out.
Ooh, after, okay.
Anything comes out for Switch 1 is Switch 2. I don't think anybody's gonna third party or first party can be like, this is only a Switch 1 game, because it does, like you said, does cross platform over anyway. But I think first party stuff, maybe the first year we're gonna have stuff go to both platforms, Switch 2 and Switch 1. But I don't think I don't think there's anything going to be only Switch. Maybe like indie stuff. Like indie stuff is directly. This is a Nintendo Switch. Indies, because that was so successful for the platform since the beginning. So maybe indie stuff, but I don't know. I don't think anything is just going to be Switch One. I think it's going to be both or none.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say never because they surprised us with Echoes of Wisdom, like a Zelda game at this point, like right towards the end of the system. So if they say they launch a brand new, I would say maybe not a top tier game, not like a big Zelda, not like a big Mario, maybe a remake, remaster. But you said that's not a remaster or a port, brand new title. I don't know. It's difficult, but I can't say no for some reason. I just can't say no because I could see a top down Zelda game, the brand new one with a new story dropping on Nintendo Switch, and of course it'll be compatible with Switch 2 also. But it's also it's a Switch game, so I can't say no.
Is there any examples in history as far as like games that were? I know there's one in my head. I'll say it when I'm done. But is there any examples of games that came out on the previous Nintendo platform while the new one was already out? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Minish Cap was one of those games that came out on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah,
but the DS was already out, if I'm not mistaken. So is anything like that?
Not that I know of. Did anything like that come out? I mean, the closest I can think about is the Wii to Wii U because it was basically the same system. And maybe there's the game scheduled already on Wii that maybe released after Wii U was out.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be either both or none. I mean, unless they know something I don't know, which they
yeah. That's what I'm expecting, which is why I think we're only going to get remasters.
Yeah, remasters. Yeah.
For Switch 1. And obviously we can play it on Switch 2.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's how we get games like Super Mario Galaxy 2 HD.
That'll be awesome.
You feed the 150 million install base, 150 plus million.
And with that, but if they do add that, let's say that Bowser's Fury type of game on the side, could that still be considered new?
Yeah, I think it could be considered new. Yeah, I think that would make it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll be super awesome. And if they, I know that. Listen, Nintendo Switch will still continue to get support. I think that support will even last a little longer than the Nintendo Switch, just because it's the same kind of platform, right? Let's say it take Windows 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever XP, right? Nintendo's kind of using the same platform that's why games are compatible, backwards compatible. You're just getting a different hardware, right? And so you're getting more powerful hardware that runs the software better on Switch 2, and but it's the same kind of, I would say, floor, right? The same foundation of both Switch 1 and Switch 2. And so I know that NSO will still be around for maybe 10 years on Switch, right? At least the base model, and maybe the if you want GameCube, they'll probably make you go to Switch 2 and get up there. And when it comes to third-party developers, they'll continue to release games until there's no more Switch at all. I mean, they're still releasing games on Game Boy Advance, on Nintendo NES. I mean, we have people on Mania. One particular developer who is releasing a game on Game Boy Advance, on NES, on Switch, and with cartridges and everything. It's so much fun, right? And so I think that's what I love about indie devs, right? It's just, man, do whatever you want. You just, it's which is awesome. But let's see here. Did
you see the comment?
The comment on
perfect example, Pokemon. That's the perfect example of a game that releases on the older hardware, despite the new hardware being out. I was like, there you go. That's perfect.
ZA. Yeah.
Because of the larger installed base.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot over the years.
yeah.
I
So,
mean, and ZA, I think that's actually super possible that there isn't a Switch 2, cartridge. It's a Switch 1 cartridge that will just work with both. It's
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if there were out of the two, specific game for Switch 2 will be Metroid, and Pokemon will have this just the Switch version, and that's it. I think Metroid will have maybe dual release, right? One for Switch 2, and I mean, according to this right here, I just did I just get out of stage? According to that right there, right, it kind of points towards Nintendo Switch 2 version of Metroid, if that's going to blow everything out of the water. So, yeah, I'm excited. So, question: how long do you think Nintendo Switch after Switch 2 releases will be supported? Like, eShop, all that stuff.
I think I already mentioned that a year.
Like a year?
I think it's a year. I'm afraid to say minimum or maximum. Like I'm non-committal to either one because I don't know. What do you think, Stash?
So the 3DS eShop closed March 2023.
2 years ago, yeah.
Switch came out in 2017, of course.
Yeah, so a couple of years, 5-6 years.
When did 3DS manufacturing stop? Really, is what we'd kind of have to look at.
Yeah.
So I would say that as far as like the eShop, I would expect it to be open till somewhere between 2028 and 2030.
I think
I know that sounds crazy, but I don't think they close it until then.
Yeah, I think my head was in the place of when are they going to stop putting new games out, and it's just going to be. That's where my head was at. But yeah, I agree with you. It's like as far when we look at like when they stop the hardware and when the eShop closes, that's going to be much longer from.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Just Dance 2030 is going to be on Switch? You can almost guarantee that.
Yeah.
But for real, yeah, I think as far as Nintendo's concerned, like if we're just talking Nintendo,
yeah,
probably with just the remasters, I would say holiday 2027 is when it cuts off.
Holiday 2027.
You might get one remaster there. You might get one remaster that year. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, 2027, 2028, I think indies will prop it up a little bit longer.
Yeah. And we are in a different kind of, I would say, atmosphere anyway, because even when the eShop closes, it doesn't mean we lose access to the games, since they will still be available on Switch 2 eShop. So I think we're in a good position that Nintendo can say, you know what? Well, we'll give Nintendo Switch users 3-4 years for the eShop, right? And I think that's a good amount of time for them to kind of start making their way to Nintendo Switch. I think by that time, of 3 to 4 years, I think enough games that people want to play would be on Switch in order to kind of push them over to Nintendo Switch too. And then you'll still be having, let's say, parents get their younger little kids the Nintendo Switch, at that point, But I agree. I'm gonna say 2030 for the eShop to go down. And just because of that. If not, I would say, you know what? I don't think it's ever going to close.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because the eShop, like you said, it carries over.
Yeah.
Just like the NSO, that carries over. It's not like they have to, build a whole new infrastructure like they had to do before.
Yeah.
And the same thing, the next probably bullet point you're going to hit, Mike, is that they still got the price drop in their back pocket that they haven't even used yet.
Yep.
Which could actually increase sales quite a bit. And you buy the younger kids the Switch One.
Exactly. There you go.
It's their first console. Like, do you want to give them a brand new $400 or $500, as analysts say? Again, I don't, I used before, but do you want to give a $500, $600, 7-year-old kid their first console for it to be a Switch 2 that's, a very expensive piece of tech. If you could pick up a Switch Lite for Switch Lites was on last year for $160.
$99? You imagine $99 Nintendo Switch?
I expect Switch Lite to go down to $99. I really do. I don't know if it'll be this holiday, but it might be right after.
I'll buy a couple.
Yeah. So at that price, the install base only grows.
Yeah.
And more indies want to enter that install base and put their game on Switch 1.
That's crazy, man.
I'm at two places with that. Like as far as reducing the price, on one hand, of course, because you lower the price, people will still buy them. If they're going to go, oh, that's a great deal right there. I remember that when that thing was $350, and now it's $100 to $200 or whatever. I'll get that. And I've been waiting so long for blah blah blah. They will sell systems if it drops in price, and they want to. Not that Nintendo's it's in the forefront of their mind, but they want to beat PS2. And they want to get to that. Sure. They want to get to that top spot.
Yeah.
And by lowering the price, they're pretty much signing the paperwork that they're going to be the number one. It's a foregone conclusion. It's a matter of when, not if. So that's on one hand, but the other hand is two things. Kind of think about the incremental pricing tiers that they'll have. They have a really nice setup if they want it. I mean, you got $200 Switch Lite, you got $300 V2. You got a $350 OLED. You got a $400 Switch 2, maybe even a $500 Switch 2 that is a little bit different in some ways. We talked about that earlier. That's a really nice little tier system. And by lowering the prices of the original ones, it makes it, you put people in a predicament because they go, well, I could buy an OLED for $250, or I could buy the Switch 2 for $400. I don't know. Maybe I don't care about performance. I just want to play Nintendo games. Maybe I'll just buy $250. That hurts the sales of the Switch 2, and they do not want that to happen. They want this thing to fly. So I feel like both arguments are good arguments, like in both directions, why they would do it and why they wouldn't do it. So I'm torn. If I'm leaning one direction, I think it's going to be why change a good thing. They're making plenty of money. These things are going to sell. Keep them the same price.
I think Nintendo's got to phase out OLED.
I've heard that. I've heard that
phase out Switch OLED. They have to.
Yeah.
I don't think, Ed, this is obviously no offense to anyone in the chat. You guys are all super informed. I don't think the average consumer is let me say savvy enough to understand the difference between OLED and the Switch 2 screen that will most certainly be LCD. And I think if they see them side by side, they will be confused and be like, wait a minute, why does the old console have a better screen than the new console? And I'm just giving you a very basic kind of dumbed down evaluation though of what people will do. This is what the average consumer does.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. If you're Nintendo, you have to avoid any sort of confusion at all costs, because we already saw that play out with Wii U. You just can't have any confusion whatsoever. You want people to pull the trigger without asking any additional questions.
I think
you got to get that totally phased out, and then a couple years down the road, switch to OLED.
I like it. You know why? Because I think that when you phase out OLED, comparison-wise, light base to Switch 2, the Switch 2 would have the better screen. 8-inch screen, IPS, better color scheme, and everything. And so when you put them side by side, base model, and the Switch 2 screen, Switch 2 will be more attractive when it comes to that point. But yeah, OLED is just too beautiful to be next to Nintendo Switch. If it proves to be correct that we have an LCD, because we don't know yet, right? This is all.
It's a big if, and as you've said, we've all said it. LCD technologies can't come a very long way since the Switch 1, and a lot of people dump on it, but it's like, look at Art Vandelay in chat.
Yeah.
Art knows. I have a PlayStation Portal as well. Screen is beautiful, absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
there he is using the fork and knife to cut his finger.
I love it.
Love it. Great episode.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I actually made a video on this.
Yeah, I
and
saw it. It was a great video.
Yeah, because I had a company send me over an LCD IPS screen that makes your screen bigger when you dock the Switch behind it. I can't remember the name of it. I'm Dory. I'm like Dory in gaming. And so it's beautiful, dude. It's beautiful. You put it next to the OLED screen, and it's you can tell the blacks are darker than they are on a base Nintendo Switch and even the OLED. But the OLED, I mean, even the base model and the light OLED still beats it out by just a little bit. But when you look at it all by itself, it's just amazing, dude. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I think
Is
there's a
it
misconception.
G-Story?
G Story. There you go. Yeah, G Story.
I think there's a misconception a lot with people out there that OLED equals better.
Yeah.
That's a math equation, and that's not the way it works. Like it's about the quality of the panel more than anything. OLED will have deeper blacks. That's a math equation, but that doesn't mean that it's going to look better all the time. If you already brought it up. My podcast host brings Drip brings it up all the time. Like his Portal looks amazing, and it's an LCD.
Yeah.
And TV technology is one of the fastest technologies to advance that I've ever seen. I think it might be the fastest thing. Like panel display technology is like blowing up, and it's like there's new versions every 3 weeks. It feels like there's another version, and I'm like, holy crap, where have I been? But so yeah, it really comes down to the quality of the LCD. It is a bit of a bummer that the OLED, it's not going to be OLED, but I think that there's no way switch to a screen is looking worse than the OLED.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just no way.
Mhm.
Different.
Yeah.
But not worse.
Yeah, exactly. I see that. Because right now, let's say Switch OLED can only run at 60 frames per second, but then switch to LCD IPS 120 frames per second. You know?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
And so we'll see. We're only 2 weeks away, guys. There's not much waiting to do. There's a lot of hyping to do. Not much waiting, but hyping. And so with that, we have now entered into our Q&A. You still have time to drop in your question. Make sure you have a question mark at the end so that we can catch that. And we're going to get and start answering some questions here. Anybody can go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it and read the question. You guys can go ahead and chip in and highlight and answer the question. All right, so we got one Sweet Girl 2017 update on Mario Paint. Can we see it?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Obviously, great question. When we all saw the reveal trailer, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sure we all thought like, hey, dude, what would be great games that we haven't thought about that could come over to Switch 2? One of the first games I think we all probably thought of was Mario Paint. Could we get a new one? Maybe, maybe not. But what about NSO?
Yeah.
Can you let us play it on NSO? Because again, Mario Paint came with the mouse. I think that would be awesome to at least see it on NSO. But of course, I'd love to see a new one. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Can you imagine Mario Paint controller released for the Switch 2, like first party Nintendo, like they did with the GameCube and all SNES? And can you imagine a Mario Paint throwback controller, but it works with the Switch 2? Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, man.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, nostalgia is powerful. Takes over. All right, next question we got here from Sergey. What games we most wanted while having Switch? GTA 5 and this NFS, right? Is there NFS?
Yeah. Was it Need for Speed?
Need for Speed.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And Call of Duty. I would say I would call for Dookie. Call of Duty.
You know, like I have PS5, so I play whatever games I want, and I always will. So in that sense, none of them. I was happy to play them on PS5. I think they would be great, obviously, to play portably though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're right.
I think I speak for a lot of people out there when I throw out the homies Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
There you go.
Yeah,
totally.
and yeah, those. That's what I wanted most.
Dual pack or release individually?
I think it depends if they plan on HDifying them.
Yeah.
Like, more
4K.
right? Like because they've already gotten HD ports. If they plan on doing more than an HD port,
Yeah, it's
then
okay.
it's separate. But I think it's possible. I've been the guy who's been against it. Like I don't think they're going to do separate. But that was also like 3 years ago when this first came up. So at this point, I have no idea what they're going to do, if they're going to do anything. I'll go. I think they're not going to touch them. I think they're going to just bring the Wii U ports over HDs. That's it. Nothing new than the Wii U as a double pack. Let's be optimistic.
And they do count as a release on Switch too, so it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we got here the Arms 2. Legs, I guess, right? Legs.
Legs.
Mhm.
That'd be funny.
Maybe. How well did ARMS sell?
I don't know. Let's say let's look it up.
You got to expect like there's going to be a new IP.
Yeah.
There's always a new IP. Every launch, there's at least one new IP. There's a game like Snipper Clips, a game like ARMS.
2 million, 2.7 million, 2.7 million. Yeah, I agree. A game that heightens the niche, the new feature, right? Because they want to demonstrate that feature and some game. And I remember, Snipper Clippers was that for Nintendo Switch. I agree.
I think like a community-based game, because again, it seems like community, voice chat, all these signs that we're getting, that has something that's going to play a role with the Switch too. I think undoubtedly, especially with those leaks or the rumors we just got of like that proximity chat and stuff. So whatever like new IP, I guarantee you it has something to do with like multiplayer, community, Miiverse type like thing, like something like that.
You know what? At the end of the Q&A, I'm going to read something here. I'll just drop it. So you guys know that that person who's been trying to sell that who's trying to
Yeah, everyone knows this person.
yeah. So they keep chatting me and like, hey, like look, I'm telling you the truth. Look, this is the list of of features that the system has. So you guys want me to go over the list?
Yeah.
Should I go?
Absolutely.
All right, so I was gonna wait till the last end of the Q&A, but I'll go ahead and do it now. Let's go ahead and do it now. So he just wants to convince me that this is real. I could care less if it's real or not. I'm not gonna get it. So he goes, the button has C letter, we all know that, on it, and it stands for chat communication. So I guess he turned it on. You press the button, it'll kind of bring up the chat communication, whatever. Okay. It will have similar or even better party and chat system than PS5. Mouse on the Joy-Con doesn't work in menu. At least for now. It will probably be a feature for some games. 3. You will be able to stream straight to Twitch. It has streaming button in settings. So I'm guessing connect to Twitch, log into Twitch, and I guess stream. That's what they're setting. So he went into the settings. Top USB-C port doesn't charge the console. That one I don't believe at all, period. It will probably be for accessories like licensed Nintendo webcam for streaming or maybe other things. Nintendo wants to step in streaming since it's a very big thing nowadays. I'm like, really?
If you're gonna lie and come up with this elaborate lie,
I have not noticed.
It's a good lie. What do you mean it doesn't charge it? That's the only thing it could do. It probably will only charge.
Exactly. I was like,
what are you talking about?
That's where they lost me. And there's more, but that's enough for now. I was like,
anybody they're saying the top ports like USB video out or something.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is my theory. I think Nintendo will sell an accessory, a second screen accessory, And the reason why now we have this the Switch, you can actually flip it, is because the video out port then will be on top, where the screen will fall in place. Then you still have the Nintendo Switch cartridge outlet, the headphone jack, and a charging port on the bottom freely, right? So you can still play, using that dual screen and have access to all of the I/O from the Nintendo Switch. So, I think you'll be able to charge on both.
I think if they want to bring DS to NSO,
Yeah,
the best way to do it is to literally sell the second screen through the Nintendo store as the controller, just like you did with the N64 controller and the Super. It's going to be niche, but for the people that want it, we will sell it to you directly. I think that's a great way, honestly, to do it. When we first saw that patent that you could flip the Switch, this first thing I thought of. I'm like,
there you go.
This makes sense for the accessory port.
Yeah, and it makes sense that the video out port for the USB-C is on the bottom, so you can actually flip it, right?
Exactly.
So, it's fun, but you're probably going to charge it on top. And can you imagine somebody's going to do this? Somebody's going to try fast charging it on both sides and burn out their. And the Nintendo doesn't work. I'll try charging it on both screens at the same time. It blew up my house. All right, we got here. Next question for Switch One. That's not a question. For Switch One? Yes. Okay.
Easy answer.
Right. All right. So Harvest Moon, The Lost Valley, Harvest Moon, Skytree Village, Switch, June. Maybe.
Sure.
What's happening in June? Indie Mania is happening in June, but I don't know. We know whether those games are going to be there, but who knows? And last question we got here: new LCD screens are really that good now? Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. They are. So, if you have access to somebody who has a PlayStation Portal, then I highly suggest you go see it, and then because I think that's the best example we have right now, because PlayStation Portal does have, one of the latest screens out there. Plus, it's also 8-inch, just like the Nintendo Switch 2 will be. So it's actually a good example for that.
They're good and cheap. Like I just got a TCL TV last year.
Yeah,
it's called QLED. Kind of sounds like OLED, which I think is why they're branding it that way. But it's really just an LCD panel. It's a really, really good one. And I mean, it was a $350 TV. It's 55 inches. Like,
come on, dude.
I mean, you can get an 8-inch QLED or whatever technology it's going to be. It's LCD. It's going to be LCD, and it's a version of LCD. Yeah, they look great now. Like,
This one is QLED.
Yeah,
that one up there. This one is QLED. I got it. I got it when it came out, dude. So I spent a lot when it came out before. But yeah, I mean, LCD technology has advanced a lot. We're not powering with bulbs behind anymore. Maybe like my other TV on this side right there, that one right there. That's still like the little box with the big giant dinosaur back on it, and the little antenna screws on it and everything. And then I use it to play NES on it. Well, I can't play NES on it because I can't see this.
Yeah, the RF.
Yeah,
RF unit.
Yep. So those are the Q&A questions. Thank you guys so much for asking. We had a light little Q&A session today, which is awesome. Let's see here. And my friends, it's time. For what? Time to hype. Because after today, there's only 2 more Fridays left. 2 more Fridays left. 2 more podcasts left. I think that's what I meant. After today, there's 2 more podcasts left. And then we'll see the Switch 2 direct trailer. So let me go ahead and lower this real quick here. Bring this back. And before we let you go, I got to introduce the all-star cast here. First, a shout out to Paul Gale Network. He had to step out early. He is at Paul Gale Network everywhere. Super easy at Paul Gale Network everywhere. Go check out his channel too. He has a lot of goody stuff up there, including a lot of old footage with a lot of E3s and stuff like that. If you like I like Paul Gale's old footage because it's like a history kind of little bank there. You can see a lot of stuff from the past. The guy's been a Nintendo fan forever. I mean, I went to his childhood home. His room is intact, and it's a museum, a Nintendo museum for real. So his channel, I told Paul, you need to make more videos with the stuff you have there. Like, you know, build up that channel with all that like retro stuff you have there from E3 of 97 and stuff, you know. And so, yeah, go check out Paul Gale Network on Paul Gale Network. Also, Lily. God bless you, Lily. I said Lily. Joycey J at DJ Joycey J on Twitter. She refuses to call it X. So yeah, go ahead, reach out to Joycey. She'll be back hopefully next week on the podcast with us. And then without further ado, over to Jeeb. Where can we find you and what you got going on this week?
I'm the co-host, one of the co-hosts of the Triple G podcast for Nintopics Podcast. Similar to this, you guys like this vibe over here. We're not family friendly over there, but just a warning for that. But we have fun, and I think we're good guys, right?
Yeah.
But if you guys want to search us up on Google, which is actually the easiest thing to do, just at Drip Jeeb or at Uncle Jeeb on Google. I mean, any platform. That's where I'm at Drip and Jeeb or at Uncle Jeeb. I'm on everywhere. I actually might be streaming right after this, so on Twitter,
awesome.
We'll see. But thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And of course, you can see it right there underneath his name at Drip Jeep and of course at Uncle Jeep as well. Over to Thunder Stash Gaming. Steve, where can we find you and what you got going on this week?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Thunderstash Gaming, and find me on Twitter at Thunderstash YT for short for YouTube.
Awesome.
Most recent stuff. Just posted impressions of the first Berserker Kazan.
Mhm.
I got an early review code coming for that early next week. So hoping to have my review out early for that. We'll see. I just posted the review today for Beyond the Ice Palace 2, which is a nice little indie Metroidvania title on Switch and PS5. And then this, jumping back into chapter 3 with the lady. I'm playing Suikoden on my own time. I'm going to start that tonight. And I think that's about it. Yeah. So that's what's coming up is Suikoden review, Split Fiction, the first Berserker Kazan, and then Mike, I think we're getting codes next week for Assassin's Creed.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be streaming Assassin's Creed on the channel on the 18th. The game is coming out on the 20th.
Yeah, so it's hectic. Like the gaming schedule's super busy right now, and it's only gonna get crazier.
Yeah,
Switch 2 is coming. I'm like, how am I gonna do this?
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and follow Thunderstash Gaming. He's about to get to 100K on his channel, which is crazy milestone and only some get to. So congratulations, well deserved, amazing content. You guys go check out Thunderstash Gaming as well as Uncle Geeb as well on his channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. Here you can find me at the Odyssey every day, Monday through Friday. News, right? I'm bringing back reviews because I know you guys wanted to bring back reviews. I just have to find a schedule where I can start playing games again on a regular basis, as in, you know, because there's playing games, but then there's playing games for reviews. Stash knows about this, right? And so
it's totally different. Yeah,
it's different. And so I have to find a schedule where I can do that as well. My reviews, you know, I got my show called Speed Run Reviews. Some guy, different character comes up and does a review. Some guy that he's into racing and stuff, so he does the speedrun reviews. I'll review under 3 minutes, and he reviews any game in under 3 minutes. Speedrun reviews. So that's coming back. What else? We got Indie Mania coming in June. In June. Part of Summer of Games over at IGN, which is super awesome. We'll be out there. If you guys want to check out, you guys want to say hi to us, we'll be in LA in May. Just let us know. You'll be in LA. We'll catch you there. Also, we got PAX. My friends, we got PAX. And I am announcing that I am partnering with PAX for a giveaway to win tickets, an entire pass through all days in PAX. So if you want to win an entire week, go through every day in PAX, which, by the way, there's a chance Nintendo Switch 2 might be there. We don't know just yet. But that being after the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation, right? There might be a chance that Nintendo Switch 2 might be at PAX. So we will be having a giveaway to give out a few for a chance to win entrances to PAX, like for all days. Like I think there's like 4 days, right? On the channel. So stay tuned for that. And I guess that's it, right? That's it. Before we let you go, we got 2 things we got to let you know. These 2 things are extremely important. Okay. Number 1, don't give up. Don't do it. Don't you dare. You know why? Because you're giving up today. Tomorrow might be that day that thing you've been wanting for happens, and then you gave up 1 day earlier. You never know, right? So just don't give up. Keep pushing forward. Keep fighting, and it'll happen for you. No matter what it is, don't give up. And number 2, journey on. All right? Journey continues at the Odyssey with Jeeb and Thunderstand Gaming. We'll see you in the next one. When I can find the end button, because sometimes I have trouble finding the end button here. It happens every time, guys. You once you come on the podcast more, you'll get used to it. It's somewhere around here. Hold on.
It always happens,
You know,
no matter what podcast
you
you're
know,
on, or like
and
I
that's
don't know why.
that is
But
the
it always does.
yeah. And then I also had the wrong outro. Let's see. All right, there you go. Okay, I think I got it. All right, guys. Bye. See you later. Peace. I got the